The Cycle Show, brought to you by ChainReactionCycles.com.
Now, some of us thrive off this. But for others, the commute to work can be an excuse to de-stress before the day is even started and explore hidden gems around the city. But for now, a touch of breakfast. Once upon a time, cycling cafes would have been unheard of. Now they're popping up all over the place like mushrooms. I'm always looking for more chilled out routes to get to where I'm going, and there are plenty of websites and apps that can help you escape the busiest routes. So that's me fired up and ready to go. Now, I like to see the city from a different perspective, so I'm going to be doing a good chunk of my commute along the Regent's Canal, which runs from East to West London. Now, Regent's Canal dates back to the Industrial Revolution. It's now pretty much a utopia for all cyclists and pedestrians, and nature as well. And it's a great way to take in the city, provided that you're not in a rush. Now, as you can see, cyclists share the space with a lot of walkers and a lot of runners along this path. So rule number one, don't go bombing down the path. Rule number two, always ding your bell, especially when you're coming around corners and going under the bridges. For a map of the canal network and do's and don'ts of cycling along it, go to the Canal River Trust website. There are over 2,000 miles of canals in England and Wales. I've reached the end of my canal route, and as you can see, I'm back on the roads again. Now, the cycle path that I've taken actually cuts through a lot of the scary traffic that cuts through King's Cross. This is where pre-planning has been a great help. So definitely have a look at one of the apps, plan out a quieter route, and feel confident and safe on the roads. So now we're on Shaftesbury Avenue. It's quite cool thinking that I set off this morning on my commute from East London, ridden along the canals and the towpaths, and have now ended up in the centre of the city. And here I am at my final destination. This gym is a brand new concept, allowing cyclists to come in, lock up their bikes, and have a shower. Definitely time to freshen up.
The whole club has been designed completely around the cyclist and the runner. So from the minute you come into the club, we are absolutely unique. So we have a 340 space bike park. We have dry cleaning through to getting you personal training. We have all the facilities and products that you would get in any cycle shop. So you can get anything from a puncture being repaired to having your bike built for you.
So that's me all changed back into my normal clothing. Now it's time to go and find Ned.
Well, two different rides, two different riders, and two probably very different experiences, Jules. I mean, mine was a bit hectic at times, but yours looked nice and relaxed.
It was a very chilled ride along the canal paths and towpaths, and there were loads of little hidden gems that I found along the way as well. The great thing is that I was using some of the brilliant apps and websites that are out there to give alternative routes so that you don't have to be in the hustle and bustle of the city. Absolutely. Well, beautiful weather for it. Whether or not all these people will still be riding in February remains to be seen, and for me and Jules, just a small matter of getting home now.
Oh, that's the kind of peaceful cycling I like best. Ned, you obviously do a lot of commuting around here.
I do, yeah. I mean, I ride a lot around London, and I'm kind of thrilled by it. I know a lot of people are put off by the traffic, the buses and the taxis and the elbows out and white van man, and you can probably hear the traffic outside now. It never stops in London, but I kind of like it. I get a slightly childish kick out of beating the traffic and beating the, people stuck in cars and all that, and nipping in the little gaps. And I guess I'm a bit of a kind of courier in disguise. I've got that kind of mentality somewhere.
Make a little bit of money on the side doing between jobs. Yeah. Rick, your last cycling experience wasn't quite so sedate. We just saw you winning the Cycle Show Sprint Challenge. How did you find that?
Hot. Well, in normal clothes, it's like, I'm just not used to riding a bike, you see. So...
Can we just confirm, in case Mr. Brailsford is watching, you're not injured and you're fully fit?
Not at all, no. That was a real brisk ride, that was. So it was good to do, yeah. I've never rode one of them before, so.
In a few weeks' time, everybody's going to be talking about the Paralympic Games, and one of the major difficulties, I suppose, people who are new to it may have is with the classification system. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, there are obviously different classification systems in different sport, but obviously in cycling, In the solo events, you've got C1 to C5. C1 being the most severely disabled, to C5 being the minimum. And I think the best way to describe it is people need to watch it as that classification, not as people who are in it. Like in my classification, you'll have people that have got all 4 limbs and have got a brain injury, so a neural deficiency. And then, but also there'll be someone in the category that will have a above the knee amputation. Now there's no difference between that. Their functional ability on the bike is the same as mine. That's why they're in that class. So it might be confusing to look at because you'll think, oh, well, there's someone with 4 limbs and there's someone with 3 or 2 limbs. Why are they in the same class? Just ignore that. The best thing to watch is they're actually in that class because of their functional ability is the same.
Yeah. What's the general vibe that people who are new to watching the Paralympic Games, how does it differ in terms of the atmosphere to the Olympics, do you think?
I think they're more intrigued that the athletes, you know, especially the amputees, are doing it on one leg or with one arm or something like that. And it's like, you know, it's really good to watch and, you know, quite heartening to think, God, you know, someone's actually doing that, you know, and I'm sitting here with all 4 limbs, you know, I can get out there and do something. So hopefully it will inspire people to get out and ride a bike or swim or go for a jog or something like that. Not in a sort of, oh, look at these people, they're disabled, they're sort of having a go. It's really elite sport at this level. You know, I've seen it for the last 10 years grow from very small, it was run by the IPC, to now it actually being governed by the UCI. And it's massive, you know, and the standard to actually get in there to get on the podium is so high. And I think if you look at the majority of elite disabled athletes, if they weren't disabled, they'd be at the Olympics. You know, that's how good it is.
Ned, you're going to be part of this as well, as part of the presenting team. You're looking forward to that?
I am massively, and I think the real focus that I want to get across is that I think a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of Paralympians get a bit fed up with having to tell the story about how their disability came about, if there is a backstory there at all. It's not really about that. It's about the starting point being the sport and the finishing point being the sport. Take me as I am, look at what I'm achieving as an athlete, and that's kind of...
It's a good thing to take into schools as an inspirational tool, to say, you know, well, this happened to me when I was younger, and now look at me, look what I've achieved, and you can inspire the young kids in schools to do that. You know, because the school visits I've done in the past, it's been like, wow, you know, we can do this as well, and it's, you can see in their eyes that they're amazed that, you know, you're taking part and you're doing
That's
stuff.
away from the games, though, isn't it? That's the kind of backstory. When you guys are in your zone, in the stadium, in the velodrome, that's the story you want us to put across, I guess. And that's what we're there to reflect.
You've got that, and plenty more cycling to come as well.
Tour
a lot
of
of it here on ITV. Looking forward to the Tour of Britain.
Tour of Britain, massively. I mean, I kind of get more and more excited about that race each year. I think it's the 6th time we've done it, and it grows enormously each time. And the Tour de France has grown, clearly, and another big step change this summer. But on the wake of that and slipstreaming right behind it, the Tour of Britain, I think, will be a World Tour race sooner rather than later. Year on year, it grows in importance. Its place in the calendar is quite well defined now. It's being used and respected by guys who are preparing for the World. It's a good tool for them. The crowds are immense. The race is brilliant. And this year, you know, I don't know who's going to be riding it from Team Sky, but whoever they throw at it, it could be a lap of honour for a few guys out there, couldn't it?
It's really one of the highlights of the rest of the cycling calendar, Ned. We look forward to seeing you in that. And Rick, of course, the other highlight of this year will be the Paralympic Games, and the very best of luck to you in that. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you go, Ned. You're not quite so fortunate because you've got to take on the beast. And that is me in the famous presenters battle of the Cycle Show Sprint Challenge. That's next.
I'm replacing Graham, introducing the Cycle Sprint Challenge, because as you can see, he is taking part in the battle of the presenters. So we've got Graham here, racing Ned. How are you feeling?
Terrible.
How are you
Just
feeling?
want to get it done. Yeah, go on. I'm feeling like Chris Hoy without the thighs. Or the knighthood.
Or the knighthood.
Or the wealth
and the
talent and
or anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you two guys just to race it out. So over to you, Jake.
All right.
Okay, Graham on the blue, Ned on the red. Are you ready?
Sort of.
3, 2, 1, go, 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 pedal, 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 and they're off their way, and the blue bike is cutting into the lead, but 100 on the blue bike in the lead, the rest is behind. Keep pedaling riders, you're coming up to 200 gone on the blue, 200 on the red is 25-metre gap at halfway. Come on, Red, can you catch him with 200 to go? Keep sprinting, with 100 on the blue, 150 on the red, it's 75 on the blue, 100 on the red with 50 on the blue, 75 on the red, blue's going to take him by how much with blue crossing the line, and red's got 25, and he's down, we have a win and a very quick time on the blue bike.
Oh, yes.
Join us again on next week's show. Commiserations, Ned. Next week's show, we've got Lizzie Armistead, Danny King. We probably won't have me, because I think there's going to be a cardiac arrest in the next few minutes. If I survive, we'll see you then.
That's fast.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
The Cycle Show, brought to you by ChainReactionCycles.com.